Hello, my name's Kurt Young, and for the last 3 decades I've been an attorney who's fought for Ohio's working families. For me, a big part of my job is to explain the legal system to people like you, and that's why we're making these videos. Today I want to talk to you about a really important benefit in Ohio workers' compensation called temporary total disability, or TT for short. What is it? Well, temporary total is when you're unable to temporarily do all the duties of the job you were doing the day you got hurt because of the allowed conditions in your workers' compensation claim. That job, all the duties and hours that came with it, is what we call your former position of employment. Now listen, this doesn't mean that you're completely unable to work. You might be able to do some things, but you can't do all the things you had to do in your original job. At that point, the ball's in your employer's court. What they can do is offer you a different job that matches your doctor's restrictions. It doesn't even have to be a real job that existed before. It can be something they made up just for you. Now, it does have to be offered to you in writing. It has to be detailed as what you're going to be doing, and it has to match your doctor's job restrictions and deliver to you. But if it is, you need to show up and work. They can also pay you a regular paycheck to set it home and heal up. And that's actually better for both the employer and the injured worker in many cases. But if you can't do your old job and your employer doesn't offer you something else and you're continuing to recover, that's when TT kicks in. You have to at least miss 7 calendar days before you have to get anything paid if you miss less than 14. If you miss 14, you're going to get paid for everything but the day you got hurt. If you only miss 8, well, you get paid for day 8. You have to have paperwork from a BWC certified doctor, not a nurse practitioner or physician's assistant. Sorry, they kind of insult those folks, especially after the first 6 weeks, they can't honor their restrictions. Also, there's a second form you have to fill out yourself and correctly, and giving false information on that form is, wait for it, a felony offense. So again, you need a lawyer. How long does temporary total last? Well, there is no particular limit. The name temporary isn't there for a reason though. It continues until one of these things happen. You can do your former job again. Your job offers you one within restrictions, whether you show up or not, you're cut off, or you hit what's called maximum medical improvement, or MMI. This means your condition's at a plateau. Not necessarily healed or going to get back to work. You just aren't going to get any better anytime soon. Now, here's a little tricky part thanks to the Ohio Supreme Court. Your employer gets to get an exam on that, as does the Bureau of Workers' Comp, every 90 days and try to cut your benefits off. Until last year, the day they would cut you off if your doctor disagrees without a hearing. But now they can go back to the day that the BWC or employer doctor saw you and cut you off and make you pay up to a month and a half, 2 months of benefits back. This is crazy, and we'd like to really thank the Ohio Supreme Court for the Dillon case from last year. Remember the word total in there. It's very important. You can't be doing anything for anyone in exchange for anything while you're on a benefit with the word total in it. Even something like race tickets for signing in the drivers at a racetrack, or pizza for helping a friend figure out how to run their kitchen better at a pizza restaurant, can get you in deep trouble. I'm not kidding. Those people went to jail. So what does it pay? Well, the first 12 weeks you get 72% of something called your full weekly wage, or FWW. After that, it drops to 2/3 of what's called your average weekly wage, or AWW. Not sure what AWW or FWW really are? Well, or you need a lawyer. There are also minimums and maximums, and no, they don't adjust for inflation. We'll get into all of that on the video on pay rates. Next time, we're going to look into a benefit called wage loss. Thanks for watching. Just to remember, I'm only licensed in Ohio, and each state's laws are very different. The system is highly technical, and this is not legal advice or even everything you need to know about this. Unless you have signed a fee agreement with me and other necessary workers' compensation forms, I'm not your lawyer, and I can take no actions to protect your rights. Nor can I warn you about every deadline to act or requirement, and missing out on ones, even ones you don't know of, can cost you all of your rights. So the answer is, once again, yes, you do need a lawyer to give you and your doctor's advice and look out for you. If you're in Ohio, call our office. We can help, 419-244-7885. If you want more information, go to our website, www.kmylaw.com. We'll see you next time.